welcome back to my channel. Today's video is really exciting because I'm going to be taking you guys on a tour around all of my barns. Yes, that is right, not just one, all 5. I'm really excited to show you guys the new layout because I'm totally in love with it. If you saw my last video, which was a Q&A, you might have seen a sneak peek of what is to come. So today I'm going to be taking you around it fully, so stick around and let's get started. So today, as per usual, we're going to start with the main barn. It's pretty much in the middle here, so it just makes sense. So right out the front, we have a little quad bike. It actually belongs to the vet, who's parked it here as she's inside. Then on this side wall, we have all the facilities that are available here. And on the other side, we have the name of the barn and lots of different social media logos, plus a working doorbell. Coming on through the gate then, and to the left, we have the huge tack room. There's a ton of stuff going on in here, but we're going to start on this wall first. At the top, we have hooks for bridles or head collars, but they're also being used to hang martingales off for now and also a bridle. There's a little ladder up the side here to be able to reach them. And below the hooks, we have saddle racks that have just 2 saddles on. Then on the next wall again, we have bridle hooks that have a nice collection of bridles on, along with some very pretty horse posters and a horseshoe. Below the bridles, we have a shelf. On the end, we have 2 little pink hats. One's a skull cap and the other has a peak. Then there's a big medical kit, followed by lots of different horse care supplies, and this little spray bottle is actually bug spray, which I absolutely love. Oh, and right in the corner, there's a key. It's very well hidden. Then on the front wall, we have lots of information about the barn, for example, the opening times, contact details, and lesson times. Below that, the shelf continues, and there's some more hats, a couple of trophies, and a huge jar of polo mints. We also have the doorbell and this interesting looking plaque. And below the shelf, we have a lovely desk with a computer on it. And underneath the desk are 2 piles of apples. Then down here on the floor, we have 2 cats. The first is Sergeant Tibbs. He's a very self-important little fellow. Behind him on the pillow is his assistant, Oreo Jr. It's quite a mouthful to say. And finally in the corner, we have 2 cat bowls. Phew, okay, moving on to the first stall. Okay, so here is the owner of the quad bike, the vet Abby. She's just heading on into a stall to check on a mare and foal. The foal is Blondie and he is a halflinger. And he also has a bandage on. That is such a nice colour. Then the mare is Whirlwind and she's an American saddlebred. They're quite different breeds, but they just look so cute together because they both have matching stars. So yeah, I'm just pretending they're mare and foal for now. Then outside of their stall, we have a lovely poster, some hooks and a tack-up area. On the shelf are some carrots, an empty jar and a helmet, and underneath we have a bottle of milk, a brush and some scissors. Moving down the probably unnecessarily wide corridor, we have another stall. In it is Blossom and she is an Andalusian mare. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, these 2 share a hay net. Outside of her stall is a very pink theme. We've got her pink saddle and saddle pad, her bridle with a pink ear bonnet in it. A couple of weeks ago I did a really fun DIY tutorial on how to make some of these if you're interested. I'll leave a link down below if you are. And then on the wall we have a picture of Blossom plus 2 rosettes and also a sweeping brush. And outside her stall are Bella and Sophia. They're both having a go at tack cleaning right now. Not the most fun thing in the world, but it's definitely better with a friend. So yeah, they've got their saddles, sponges and tack cleaning box down there. Ted the terrier is helping them out. And I almost missed it, but down here there's a lantern and they're both sat on a hay bale. And finally in the stall right down the end we have Trooper and he is a quarter horse gelding. I think he's moving in on the hay net there. He's definitely clocked it. Then outside his stall is a lovely blue saddle and a picture. And then coming round on the back wall we have a huge ladder along with a beautiful photograph of a horse. And then down here resting on a chest we have Purdy, who's a little bunny, and she's eating a cabbage right now. And Purdy I painted myself to look like one of my little bunnies. Over here we have Mango, who's sat by a big pile of apples and a random brush. Above her is a big poster on lots of different horse colours. Then back here through the corridor we have the feed room, which is helpfully pointed out by the sign. In it on the wall we have the huge feed chart, so everybody is fed appropriately. And also a poster of a horse drinking. And then on the floor we have 3 feed bags that I made, a brush, a stack of hay, and also a little bench back there with loads of buckets on so you can make up feeds that need to soak. Another medical kit and a bag of feed. And next to that room we have a little pony stall, and in it is Missy and she is an Icelandic pony mare. And I think think she's quite happy about being next to all the food. Coming back down the hall then, we have Vegas, and she's one of the new mares for 2021. She is a Spanish breed of horse, though I have no idea where to begin with the pronunciation of it. Outside her stall is a white head collar and a lovely poster. And these people again, honestly, they're hogging all the limelight. Then down here we have Mystery, who is an Arabian mare. She's got a saddle, head collar and poster on the wall outside her stall. Then underneath there are lots of various objects like a hoof pick, hoof balm and carrots. And finally in the end stall is Buddy, and he is a Hanoverian gelding. And also outside his stall is a poster, saddle and bridle. Oh, and a rosette. And lots of other random loose things. Phew, okay. So that is that for the first barn. Crikey, okay. So to the left of this barn, we've got more stables, paddocks and arenas. Though we're going to come back to that in a minute because I'm going to do the right side first. So I need to be facing the other way. Okay, swiveling around. Ow. Oh my gosh, that was kind of painful. Gracefully done. So now the main barn is on our left and we're looking out this way. There's lots of exciting things happening over here, and I am going to start with the show barn. So here we are outside the barn. Right here we have a mounting block that's probably seen better days. It's looking quite beat up. I think that's probably because I've stood on it quite a few times, but it's still standing nonetheless, so it's just there. Then we have a lovely ramp up into the barn, and it's bordered by lovely red flowers. Then on the other side, slightly randomly, we have giant horse head pictures. Yep, that's pretty much everything for outside, so let's go on in. Boing! I don't know what that was about. In the first temporary stall, we have Katie, the quarter horse mare. Down from her is Havana, the Hanoverian mare. That's quite a tongue twister. And also a head collar. Then on the opposite side in this stall, we have Wildfire, and he's an Arabian stallion. And down from him is Seamus, and he's an American saddlebred gelding. In the corridor here, we have Lynx, and she is a Maine Coon cat. She's really cute, but slightly mean looking. Heading further down the corridor then, on this side we have a brush and a grooming kit with some little brushes in. And on the opposite side we have 2 hay bales, a bucket and a chest with, I actually don't know what's in here. I'm intrigued. Oh my gosh, what? Okay, there's some shells, a button. I'm regretting coming in here now. We're just going to ignore this. Okay, there's a reason that that's got a lid on it. There we go. Nothing to see there. Seriously though, they were really pretty shells. Anyway, in the stall across from that disaster, we have Glimmer, the Lipizzaner mare, wearing her infamous purple rug. Down here we have Roxy, the mini schnauzer, and I think she's eyeing up the cat, but to be honest, I think the cat's a lot bigger than the dog, so that's not going to go too well. In the alleyway here between 2 of the stalls, there's a lovely horse poster and also a chain down here that can be pulled across to make another temporary stall. There we go. But that's just down right now because nobody's in there. Back here then we've got Maui, the gorgeous Lusitano stallion, just strutting his stuff. Down from him here's Luna, the Tennessee Walker mare, just looking glamorous as usual. And outside her stall she's got 2 little pictures. And finally on the end here we've got Zeus, and here's an Andalusian stallion. And all 3 of those guys have shared hay nets that are huge. Oh, and down here also there's a tiny little mouse that is adorable. Out front of Zeus's stall there's a storage area with some sacks, hay and a feed bucket by the looks of things. And also a poster of horses eating grass. And finally, in the last stall we have Poseidon, and he is also an Andalusian stallion, and he is wearing a head collar that I made for him. This was actually my first attempt at making a head collar for a horse, and for some reason I thought it would look better if I hand stitched it instead of using the hot glue. Oh my gosh, it took forever to make, and honestly the hot glue just works so much better and looks so much neater, so that was pointless. Anyway, story time over. Also in Poseidon's stall is a huge purple hay net, and hanging off of the divider is a big sash that he won. He's very proud of that. Okay, dokay. That is everything from that barn. Over here we've got a lovely pine tree that's just chilling. It's actually on quite an angle. I should probably be concerned about that. Anyway, coming through the little doorway here, we'll get to the 3rd stable block. In the first stall here we have the very moody mare Pocahontas, who is the special pinto mare. Then in the stall next to her we have Gingernut and Patch, the 2 very cheeky miniature Shetland foals who are currently trying to escape. We've got some really tacky posters back there. A hook for tying up your horse. And on the partition here we have a western saddle and 2 saddlebags just resting here. And outside the stable is a big tack up area, so there's loads of these hooks. And there's also a big hay pile with some forks there, and the 2 pigs, Pepper and and Pinky. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Heading away from the wonky pine tree to the left, we have our lovely horse show all set up. This little duo right here has gone to town with the navy matchy set. Anyway, the girl is Brooke and she's riding Outlaw, or Aussie for short, the Hanoverian gelding, who is wearing a very cute ear bonnet I made for him. Back here is another crooked looking pine tree. So yeah, turning to the left we have the huge red carpet area, which I love. Swooping on down here you'll find two lovely bushes with heart decorations wrapped around them. Then at the front here, presenting to the judges, is Jenny. She is leading Tiger Lily, the special Andalusian mare, who is looking amazing, all dressed up in a harness and butterfly accessories. And also down here is Benjamin, or Benji for short, the poodle, and he's just come to help them out. Behind this little trio we have the judges' table with the scorecards on, the cute little flags, and yeah, that's pretty much everything for inside the stand. Behind it are where all the accessories are stored, and just round here is the tent where you can go and get ready. So there's a grooming kit with brushes in, apples, and a couple of mirrors, and there's also a chair and a makeup kit. And also around this side there's a tap with a couple of buckets to make sure your horse is hydrated. And in the back right corner there's a horse statue made of stone and a big pine tree. Then back up here away from the horse show we have a little farm stand. We've got a sign with all the prices for the different food items on. Little crates of fruit and vegetables. Some eggs, milk and carrots over here. And a delicious looking loaf of bread. And also on the bench we have the till and scales. Behind the counter is Jade and she's just waiting for some customers. And I almost didn't see this, but there's a giant umbrella here. It's a bit hard to miss. Over here we have Maggie and she's a Jack Russell. And the pony pulling the carriage is Brandy and she's an Icelandic. And making sure she doesn't walk off is Oscar, who's just holding on to her. Phew, okay, we have done everything to the right of the main barn. Now we're going to come back round and take a look at the left. So straight across from the first barn is the Lakeside Cafe. Leaving it right now are Abigail and Lila, who've just filled their picnic basket up to the max and are probably going for a picnic. Abigail is riding Crystal, her quarter horse mare, and Lila is in her pony trap with Misty, the Connemara pony mare, pulling it. And Popcorn, her little puppy chihuahua, is sat next to her. Oh, also stood here in the doorway is Ollie, the shopkeeper, and his little pug, Mrs. McGregor. Back over here in the paddock behind the cafe, we have 4 little horses. The first dude here is Flame, and he is a Hanoverian gelding. Then we've got Fudge, the Dartmoor pony stallion, followed by Charlie, who is a gelding, and I have no idea what breed he is at this point. And over here is his chum Churro, who is a stallion. And back here in the stables, we have our 2 Shetland ponies. This guy is Peach and he is a gelding, and behind him is Dinky and she is a little mare. Then inside there is tons of stuff. There's cupcakes, meringues, pies, drinks. There's the till, though you can't eat that. And then on the back shelf there's these lovely see-through cups that I'm slightly obsessed with. Then over here we've got a coffee machine, juices, and lots of bottles of lemonade, I'm guessing. Up there on the wall we've got rosettes and also a big board. Coming along this way there's the type area for your horse. It has apples and a water trough on it. And out here in the cafe there are lots of picnic tables. On the first one is Lucky and Stacey, and they're just having a chat and a drink. And Lucky's having a cupcake by the looks of it, though I think Stacey's already finished whatever she was eating. Then over here there's a little picnic bench, some wild flowers, and there's also some stuff for horse care. So there's a grooming kit, carrots and apples, which are essential. Oh yeah, and there's also this giant rock and little bush. And down here there are some more wildflowers and a little dog bowl. So yeah, that is everything for the cafe. If you continue on riding down this way, you get to a huge outdoor arena. Personally, this is one of my favourite parts of the barn. It just looks so much fun. So to start off with, the whole thing is bordered by a little fence because you don't just want your horse taking off. It's also quite funny because over there my grass mat runs out and it's sort of like the border. Anyway, here's the entrance to the big paddock. You know it's official when there's 2 flags and a random tree. Mainly the flags, to be honest. Anyway, heading on inside then, we've kind of got a mix of cross-country jumps, show jumps, and a pony agility course. I mean, it's very cool. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it sounds brilliant. The first horse and rider here are Prue, and she's riding Chili, the German riding pony mare, and oh my goodness, I absolutely love this sky blue matchy set. It just suits Chili so well. Anyway, they're just having a walk around right now. Down the border here, we have a couple of trees that are in a line. This first first arrowhead here is more like a cross-country style jump. We've got 2 of those, but this one's split in half, so we're just working with that. Then in the far left, we have a pole bending pole, just the one. That's then followed by a long line of alternating coloured poles. You gotta love them trot poles. Coming back this way then, we have a really cool looking jump that looks so much fun. Sussing it out right now is Jessie, and she's riding Rummy, the German riding pony gelding, and he is looking amazing in the red. Actually attempting the middle obstacle right now is Sarah, and she's riding Ziggy, and Ziggy is a Mustang stallion. Behind his butt is a nice little jump made entirely out of hay bales. Then back over here towards the front, we've got 2 little poles and a pony agility ramp. Okay, so that's pretty much that section of the barn done. Now turning back round, we still have 2 stables and 2 huge paddocks to check out. Actually 3, there's one over there. I reckon stables first, so let's start with this one. So my newest stable right now is connected to the main barn. So heading on in the front door, we've got Chip, the little mini schnauzer who's wanting to go up the stairs. In the first stall is Scardy, and she's a gypsy cob mare. Out the front of her stall is her head collar and lead rope. And inside she's got a little hay bale and a big salt lick. Down from her is Summer, and she is the big Shire mare. She also has a head collar out the front of her stall, and down here on the floor there's lots of little cute things. Down again in the back 2 stalls, the big doors are open to the paddock, so there's more than one horse in them. The first stallion in here is Panther, who I absolutely adore. He is the same breed as Vegas from earlier, and I still don't know how to pronounce it. And over here on the left, we have a little rosette and a bucket. I actually don't remember putting that there. And the 2 mares in there I'm going to come back to in a minute because I can't quite reach them right now. So instead, we're going to head on upstairs. And up here on the first landing, we have the tack room and balcony for the barn. So like the main barn, we've got lots of bridle or head collar hooks, but there's just bridles on them right now. Down here on the ledge, we've got a pile of apples, a rosette, some, I'm not sure what this is actually. It's just a nice jar with flowers on. And then there's some carrots. Also here on the edge of the staircase, there's a little lantern to light the way. And out here on the balcony, there's an umbrella and a picnic table and chair, along with some flowers on the table, an apple, a spoon, and some orange juice. The spoon's very random because you don't need a spoon to eat the apple. Meet Maple, Nuts, and Squeak. Then heading up another small flight of stairs, there's another lantern at the top. But we get to the big lounge or hangout room of the barn. I absolutely love this part. It is so much fun. In the back corner, we've got a little crate with an ear bonnet in and a lantern. Then the cat here is Muddle, and she is a Bengal cat. Then we've got a very plush looking sofa. And then in the other one, we've got Harry, and he's holding Snowball, one of the little bunnies. And next to him are 2 teddy bears. And then across from him is another long sofa with a blanket very messily just thrown on the floor. And in the corner, there's a big L-shaped sofa with some very nice looking cushions on, with a little poster on the wall above it. And here in the corner is a side table with a lamp, camera, key, and a little pot on. And underneath it is a suitcase that's all ready for an adventure. I absolutely love that. It's so cool. So yeah, that is everything for upstairs. Now coming through this alleyway and out the door, you'll get to this final stall. Up here again are some empty bridle hooks. In the back stall, we have the 3 donkeys. This is Betty, Mickey, and Minnie. And then in the last stall is Bandit, and he's one of my Camarage stallions. Down here in another doorway are the 2 little baby goats. They are Coco and Chocky. And then above them, there's little windows into Scardy and Summer's stalls. Then in the corner, we have a barrel, a wheelbarrow full of hay, some mucking out tools, and hay bales. In the middle here is Clancy, and he is a little goose. Then here on the end are 2 chickens, and then a little chicken hutch and a sack. And right round the corner from them are the 2 wash stalls that aren't being used right now. And these back straight onto the stalls. Alright, and round the corner here is the entrance into the stallion's paddock. Whew, okay people. The last thing I've got to show you is the paddocks. Oh, and also OJ, this little tabby cat who's walking along the roof. Alright, so starting off in the stallion's paddock, we have Boris, who is a tinker, followed by Jack, the Welsh pony, and Ace, the little halflinger. Then here we have Mojo, who is a pinto. Oh, and also a little poop there. Back here is Jupiter, and he is also a tinker. Then here we have Hunter, and he is a Tennessee Walker, and also some more poop. And coming up the stall here at lightning speed is Orlando. I really don't know where he thinks he's running to. I mean, he's just going to crash into these guys, but he is a Mustang. And yeah, that is it for the stallion's paddock. This next one has mares, geldings, and foals in. This first one here is Skylar, or Sky for short, the Andalusian. And then behind her is Foxtrot, and she is an Appaloosa. Coming down this way is Blackjack, and she is a Hanoverian. Here is Katniss, and she is the special Tinker mare. Back over here is Venus, and she is a thoroughbred mare. Here is her little foal Star. Then we have Olaf, the Trackner foal. Over here is Boots, the Hanoverian foal. And back here is Rebel, and she is a yearling. She is also the Spanish breed that is very hard to pronounce. Coming down this way is Gucci, and she's a Rocky Mountain mare. Down here is Dude, and he is a paint horse gelding. This is Dolly, and she is a curly mare. Here is Elsa, and she is a gorgeous Trakehner mare. Back on over here is Angel, and she is a Tennessee Walker mare. Her friend here is Tango, and she's a Pintabian. On the end is Kiki, and she's a Nabstrapper. I love Kiki. And finally we have Belle, who is a Clydesdale foal. Okay, now finally in the last paddock, we have Terry, who is a llama, Ronnie, who is a big bull, and this little sheep here. I repainted this guy and I'm really pleased with how he turned out. Here on the fence is an empty hay net because those guys are greedy and they've just eaten everything. And last but not least, outside of the paddock is Darcy, and she is a swan, and she's sat very importantly on her special rock. Okay guys, that is it for today's barn tour. This is the biggest barn tour I have ever done. So I really hope you enjoyed watching and hopefully got loads of inspiration from this video. As usual, I'll finish by giving you guys an overview of my barn. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!